Taco Mamba here to bring you another fun-filled episode of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Let's get back to it, shall we? Excuse me. Of course, that had to play on my phone. Freaking hate allergies. Oy. Okay, so I got a... Sorry, I feel like I need to sneeze. Son of a biscuit. Yeah. Got a plan on how to finally pull a dang sword. And it's actually as simple and predictable as one would be. It's just me being me, always go, oh, there's gotta be some traditional way, like making sure your health is above a certain point. No, that's not it. Let's get that past there. Oh wait, I need those. That's one way to boost your wonder if she's got some.
Sometimes it's nice.
Nope.
Buying.
Welcome to Ron's Tavern. So that would be over 2 HP a second. What are you doing standing near my home? Yeah, I need a lot more sage. So if I were to go... I'm hearing the Spanish radio through the walls and windows. Who the heck is playing music so loud for me to hear that through my headset too? Okay, so the idea is supposedly, if I just do this, I should be able to pull the sword out. I just have to keep also consuming stuff while I think if I consume all of these before I start pulling and then use the health potions while I'm pulling, I think that is the key. And we're about to find out. Because I have done almost everything there is to do here, and I am nowhere closer to accomplishing this. And of course we're going to save right before, because in case this fails, I don't want to lose all those potions. Okay, so it worked. It worked. Phew. I have no idea what
I am
that noise
his
was
will,
I made.
the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
I've always kind of wondered why it's a female's voice. Does that imply something? Because you know there's that whole thing with Morgaine or Morrigan.
Enough,
Yeah, I know you get to
Merlin.
watch this.
You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss.
Rare
These
achievement unlocked
experiments,
by my own
they're
hand.
destroying what remains of us.
Find a way to
Destroying us?
retrieve
They're
Excalibur.
what's keeping
without
us
someone's
alive.
help.
Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about
They make
survival.
the Merlin
If we don't
look
push these
so much
boundaries,
more
there will be no future for your kingdom.
vicious in
For
this.
Avalon, you dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth, our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
This right here, this is how you can start refilling your weird power, King Soul, without having to keep going to a bonfire to recharge it. Alright, we're done here. Moving on.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. I told him to stop the experiments on our men. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power... So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised. And the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did. It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone, even when there was no king left to lead them.
You've got that look again. Like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Fight back. Against who? Merlin? You endure. You wait. That's what I do. Of course he'd say that. But it doesn't absolve him. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want some... And, after all, who said we were supposed... You've seen what they did. What he did. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe this, but know this. Once he's whole, and when that moment comes, I'll be there. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side... You cannot kill me, and I don't want to kill you. But if you want to fight me now, I'll grab... If you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The Menhir there is failing, and you will need to find another artifact. The shield that was given to Palamedes by the king. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
Okay. So that part's done. Now, we are going to pay a little visit to Galahad. We are going to see what the results are of supporting him.
Stop right there. It's Sir Galahad to you. We're his personal guard. It's true that this pin obliges me to take you to go. But bear in mind that Galahad is not a patient man. The door is open. Try not...
That door was inaccessible before. This was actually the level, I'm level 29 right now. This is when I actually left to head to the next region.
I can hear you. Who goes there? It's shiny, sure. Waving a round table pin in front of a knight of the... Normally, I'd throw you out for your arrogance and stupidity. Where'd you get it? You mean you found Karanak? Interesting. I see. All right. So... denunciation, like loyalty, can be valuable. The key is knowing... I appreciate you telling me, but unfortunately, you haven't told me anything I didn't already suspect. Well, that's fortunate, because between the two of us, instead, I've got an... We're going to fight the Dalrita. We're driving that rabble out of the All-Mother's temple. And when we head home, we'll put their heads on pikes at the gates of the Forlorn Swords. That way the rest of those barbarians will know Camelot is still watching over them, even if we have to protect them from themselves. Oh, so you don't know? One-Eye's a traitor. He's fooled the younger tribesmen with grand promises of uniting the tribes and marching north. The Council of Elders is still loyal to us. They want no part in a war. He's just a bandit, abandoned by his own people. When his village fell, no one came to help. And One-Eye, like the rat he is, ran. I'm just here to finish what I started. And when the Elders see us take down One-Eye, we won't need to worry about those savages for another 600 years. See you at the temple. Make sure to sharpen your sword. We're going to have some fun.
Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
Just so you know, I have not saved anything yet. Or, I saved before talking to him, so if I do not like the way this turns out, we're going to be changing our... Oof. That's not bad. Already feeling quite uneasy about this. Stash is still here, oddly enough. Friends, tent. Not in here. Or is that her? It sure was. Not up here. like I said, if I want to, I'll revert. A lot of this stuff got smashed up. Rabbit juice? Oh.
Show me what you are made of!
What are those? Oh, these things aren't even worth it. Increases crit chance by 20%, but also increases incoming damage. Wow. Can't even loot the archers.
You've exceeded expectations, whelp. Who'd have thought a nobody from nowhere would prove so useful? This had to be done. The Dalrita weren't just rebel, and taking down Briadan, that was a personal. Well, the less you know, the better. Brandon and his lackeys stumbled onto something. A place that should never see the light of day, and they wanted to expose it. Heresy, plain and simple. King Arthur gave everything to secure to reveal such places would, and we can't have that during the war. Let's not test my patience. Whatever it is, because he was in, he thought exposing it would shake the South, destroy morale, and somehow help. And for what? The man was beyond. Now, I'll leave this fish stick. There's work to be done, and One Eye's revolt was just a symptom of something worse. Killing him. Here, take this. My directive for appointing a new captain. Tradition says I should do it in person, but frankly, I've got... Beargas will take over as interim captain, and Killian will handle quartermaster duties. They're the only ones in this cesspit who aren't completely out of touch with reality. Oh, don't confuse Breaden's lunatics with the Dalrida as a whole. What you saw here was just a pack of fools dreaming of taking... Ah, yes. Here's what you need to know. There's an old gong in the sunken village. They say striking it's romantic, is it? Those trials, they killed most who tried. And those who survived, only those who endured were worthy of being... But ask yourself this. If none of them are alive to tell, I don't know. If you want to taste their stories, go ahead. Now, I've wasted enough time here. Stay alive if you can, or don't, it's your choice. I have more important matters to deal with.
I find it interesting that it's stealing when it was off of Brandon or whatever, Brandon, but not off of One Eye. These things aren't even that good. I wonder if it's possible to do, if there's something if you do offerings to all of the All-Mother altars. Now again, I still have not saved yet. Because I'm still a bit dubious about this. Now you see these essences right here? Those are what you pick up.
You've met Galahad. This. Galahad confirms Captain Brandon's death. He's named me interim captain. His seal is here. If Galahad believes I'm the one to set things right, but Brandon, a traitor? If he sided with the enemy, then this end was inevitable. Now it's on me to make sure the Keepers don't follow Brandon into ruin. Galahad has promised reinforcements, and I'll see to rebuilding our for the first time in years. I have hope, not just for the Keepers, but for the South itself. Come with me. I have to let the Keepers know.
Okay, this is
Brothers
interesting.
Of the South. We've lost Brandon, a captain who led with grit and a sharp mind. His absence
Let's go,
weighs on us all.
Brandon.
But our purpose does not die with him. The Horns of the South are more than one leader, more than one name. We are a legacy, a bond that cannot be broken. We faced loss, we faced doubt, but we're still here. The Horns of the South do not falter. We endure. And today, we rise once more. We return to the roots that made us strong, to the traditions that bound us together. The Horns of the South will reclaim their honor, their purpose, and their place in these lands. Our name will mean something again. Galahad has pledged tighter bonds with Camelot. Together, we will stand stronger, and all will know that the South is shielded, its people protected. Remember your oaths. From this day forward, we stand united. With each other, with Camelot, and no threat will scatter us again. The danger from the Dalriada and the bandits has passed, and others will come as they always do. Let them. We will face them as we always have, with courage, with steel, and with unwavering loyalty. The Horns of the South do not bow. We do not break. We stand together. Now, let's show the world that we are not just surviving. We are thriving. To the South! To the Horns!
Hello, Cillian.
Quartermaster, finally! About time someone noticed my talents. Vergus can play captain all he likes. Please, state your business. Again? Go chop off some...
Looks like I had 13 that time. Okay, now if you were to go up here and here.
You need something. I told myself I'd take a more hands-on approach than Brandon. I'd focus on the keep and avoid politics. Turns out, that's about all I can do anyway. Brandon, they wouldn't even let me choose my own quartermaster. I'll take time to rebuild. It's too early to say if he'll be good at the job. But the problem is, that role should have gone to one of my men. But I am. We need their support now more than ever. And I'm glad they're finally paying attention to us. But this isn't how I wanted things to go. I hoped Camelot would see us as their strength in the south. A strength that just needed fostering. Instead, they treat us like a den of vipers. That's true. Hopefully, we'll appoint new... Don't get me wrong. I still believe, but his betrayal left a stain on the Keepers. Excalibur. Well, be my guest, but unless you're King Arthur...
He's got a piece of weird stone in there. Can't read that book.
nice to have a break.
Viragas as captain. Well, that's the kind of solid choice we've been needing. Killian, though... Well, here's hoping his new post doesn't mean the rest of us get to bleed for his amusement.
Not bad.
Well, it's definitely going to be harder to do business with him than it was. Poor bastard. Now, Viragas is going to bury the horns of the South in the past. But that's really not my problem. Try not to get your...
Oh, peaceful, dull, windy. I've served here for 20 years and... Oh, except for the lockdown. Yeah, so get me started. I grew up inland in Blightweed. But there's one good thing about Blightweed. But one day my parents just dropped me here. I don't remember how it happens. I just woke up with a huge hangover. But they kept me. The keepers, I mean. Keepers? So, I pull myself together, you know. I do miss home sometimes. We had some special route there for root water. I tried to... Oh, should you ever be in the area, go to the tavern. Well, nobody gets in. Oh, but you have this thingy. Just don't forget about ye old keeper. Well, if Camelot's got the south, I hope they're smart enough to keep their hands off my flask. Well, we got two... Well, there's me and the rest of the guys. And then there's the village. We keep the old and wounded there and a bunch of beggars who claim they escaped from bandits. Oh, yeah. Yeah? I don't care about that damn toothpick.
Jesus. Okay, so yeah, I know you gotta go there for that. Truth is, you don't really need the... You don't really need it. I'm honestly wondering if maybe I should go with this, Oh, I've already interacted with it before. Right, on to Connacht.
Hmm? We're just sitting here. Bran? Ha. You can go. If you know our sister's name, that means...
So, even though I got her killed... What the? Flying... Okay, that just happened. Yeah, even these guys are taking more of my hits.
Face every threat. Bizarre. There's one thing that I want to check before I make my decision on whether I revert. Part of it was on my other character. If you decide to kill Galahad, where'd the other body go? Oh. These freaking bears coming. Dryads. Okay. Yeah, you see how going into Man, I got 1,000 experience for just killing one of those.
I make quite a bit of money off of the weapons of these people. Nature's Caress, I think that's a healing spell. Okay, I think I'm going the wrong way.
My peace! We're not safe. I'll have your head on a pike! Prepare for battle! Back to you! I've had worse.
Okay, before when I killed Galahad. Oh, I had to forget about this part.
Don't even say that. Someone comes, lights them in here, and then dies on all watch? People would be at my door with pitchforks.
He's waking up. Welcome back to the land of the living, our hero.
Help him up, Ansem. Welcome to my home. Quite a scene unfolded at the Menhir, with you at the heart of it. I can't decide if I'm more delighted or surprised. What was it that made the Menhir react to you? I see. You have a Come now. The locum, then you tell me. So they say. But none of this matters. For some, it's a symbol of freedom and independence. And for others, like our guest from Camelot, whom I'm sure you've seen, it's a symbol of power. Power once granted by King Arthur, and therefore by Camelot. And power that has been granted can be taken away. Palamides' shield use. That shield rests beneath the Menhir. In legend, I don't mind if you look at it, touch it, whatever you need. And you're probably just as attached to your head, which... You don't have to. That's true. And as the lord of this place, I want you to speak with Dinho. He's the commander of Camelot's fort. With the Menhir active again, If you need anything.
If I just stay put, everything will be just fine.
Wait, who's the quartermaster here?
The less attention, the better. Ah, a new phase. From managing the court's affairs to ensuring Connacht doesn't... And you? What bring... Challenging. But if I'm honest, it's the plague that keeps me awake. I lost my family to it. Nearly. Since then, protecting this place. Farewell.
Nothing useful from that.
Help a soul out on your journey.
Haven't seen your face around here before. I'd rather not have to put... No, that'd be... I keep this camp running and make sure everyone's pulling their weight. Trouble is, we've got more... I can't spare any soldiers to... I handle what makes soldiers fight. Shina, you want glory and gold? See me. Legate Denham. Lord Yvain's acting like a maiden on her wedding night. The Red Priests are throwing their weight around, and the locals are ignoring... I have no idea how the Legate puts up with it all.
I'll await.
Ah, you've really caused a stir. You appear out of nowhere, and suddenly a dying pile of... Firstly, because now I have to write yet another report to Camelot that we're going to be late. Secondly, you've somehow reignited the Menhir. And before you ask why it's dangerous, take a look around town. But you should be thankful to them. Their hope... That's the assumption I decided to go with. And that's what... If that's really what you wanted to tell me, then it would mean I need to declare a bounty on your... Better step it up.
You better step it up.
Have you been taking damage?
Not bad.
Come on! Show me what you've got. Oh, you'll pay for that. You'll regret crossing me.
He's not really taking damage.
Oh, you'll pay for that. Not bad. Bet you regret this now.
You guys got dang good reach.
You'll pay for that. You better step it up. You getting tired yet?
not taking any damage at all.
Tougher than you. You'll regret crossing me. You better step it up. I fought tougher than you. Come on! Show me what you've got. That's it! You're dead!
I'm just gonna revert to this. I can't stand it. Feels wrong.
I can hear you. Who goes there? It's shiny, sure, but you clearly haven't. Waving a round table pin. Normally, I throw you out for your arrogance and stupid. Where'd you get it? You mean you found Karanok? Interesting. I see. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. The one on the left was questioning my orders. For some reason, he thought his opinions were more important than obedience in the middle of a war. They aren't. The one on the right decided Camelot wasn't paying enough, so he thought that was a good enough excuse to help himself to his comrades' pockets. It wasn't. Marvelous.
Yeah, I think taking out Galahad was the better choice. Also, check out this sick armor set. It's not enchanted or anything, but still looks sick. And then there's his mace. So, if you go into the melee, build, this one would be a solid addition.
See you around, I guess.
No, most of them would tell you to piss off and never talk to you again. So you'd better appreciate my damn kindness. It's odd that someone from the Volker is running the camp, since they're not exactly known for clear thinking. Most of them are lunatics who charge at the enemy with bit, but she's got a good head on her shoulders. And Tension, you say? Nah. You bet we do. Magic is cowardly crap. Any old fright will tell you that. Use iron like a real person. Don't wave your hands around and wail like a dying goat. And you can't trust the Thunes. They're like vipers you fed from your own bosom, and that hasn't changed in centuries. It's not even worth talking about. Damn them.
Oh, look who's here. Has the destiny of the South graced my humble abode? Glad you asked. By completing my request, you've shown, but I'm not naive enough to think everyone will suddenly get along. We need something stronger. And it just so happens that One Eye found undeniable proof of Camelot's corruption. Once the Keepers see it, they'll change their minds. No, the Horns of the South will stay as they are, just free from Camelot's control. But since Camelot might try to reclaim them, we'll need support from an equally strong military force. In return for their help, I promised One Eye that he and his people would be safe on our lands, and if needed, we'd host them in the Horns of the South. That man's hard-headed. It's going to be tough to bring him round to our cause. If my proof doesn't convince him, we'll send it with fear gas. He'll either come back or end up. Proof that Camelot is... I didn't plan to tell you, but my one-eyed friend convinced me. Since you took down Galahad, you deserve to know. As a reward for your help, I'll share this secret with you. Here, take this seal. In the sunken village, you'll find everyone knows the story of how the evil druid sealed and flooded the place. It's true, at least part of it. But the real story is why they sealed and flooded it. One Eye broke the old seals and replaced them with his own. If you want to see what Camelot was so desperate to hide, you'll find your answers there. They thought drowning a village would keep it secret. Behind the statue, you'll find where to use the seal. Once you do, you'll see that history is very different from what we've been telling ourselves. If that doesn't convince you that Camelot's foundations are more crap-coloured than tinged with ivory, then nothing will. I won't tell you anything more. I'd hate to spoil the surprise. I'll catch up with you later, and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Go. Bring...
Someone's bound to start trouble.
much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce. inside. Step forward. After all, you know me well. Take off your mask now. It's your home. Welcome, little prince. Why the sullen look? Aren't you glad to see me? You finally made it here. It must have taken quite a long time. So, you don't remember me. I'm afraid it might have something to do with the form in which I see you now. This body and soul, they're much different from what I expected. But to answer your question, I am
Sorry about the silence, folks. I was on a phone call. So if you're wondering why my movements seemed a bit weird and why I wasn't talking at all, yeah, having a conversation with a relative in Arizona.
Because it is easier for me to address you this way than to accept that, for now, you are nothing more than a human. It is painful, but I must come to terms with it. It is a place where my prince was woven from the threads of pure potential. The Pale Lady.
Isn't that a four-dweller?
In her desire to fulfill her vision of an offspring, modeled after those she watched so eagerly. It displeases me that you don't remember. I'd envisioned your return and our meeting quite differently. But now it all makes sense. Now I understand why you need that shard. The shard of the prince's memory. It is shattered. Much like the fragmented memory of the king that lingers within you. I'd gladly speak with him, but something is preventing him from manifesting. I don't know all the details. What I do know is that after our prince was murdered by our kin, his potential, what you humans might call his soul, did not perish. The prince had been deeply fascinated by humans, and so after his death he manifested in one of them. That person was Arthur, the man who would one day become your king. He followed his mother's fascination. Much like her, he gazed upon the land of men. But he wished to go further. He wanted to experience being human. So he built the menhirs, and to repel the weirdness. For us, the Four Dwellers, such a vision was both heretical and terrifying. Some of our kin could not forgive him for it. So, they killed him. It was the first time an Avalonian had ever slain one of their own. Arthur was a man mortal like any other, but ambitious like few. But yes, his origins are far more complicated. This is a tale of two separate realities that, through a series of specific events, began to intersect, forming a single knot. Everything that has happened, and everything that will happen, is meant to decide the fate of that knot. And we, as you likely already know, have been pulled into all of this. Our meeting comes to an end. I regret how brief it is, but my role in your story was always meant to be insignificant.
So, there are actually a number of these pedestals with a symbol on them, and in order to access the special place beyond, you must have the artifact that is relevant to it. In this case, you needed Excalibur. Now, continue our way back.
We may be in for a fight.
Nah, you's in for a slaughter, mate. I don't know why it is the great bow is so much more valuable compared to other weapons. Where's the other one that I hit? There you are. I noticed when I was... So, that big ghosty thing that I was fighting, that was the thing that's been stalking your character this entire time, and it only started to manifest and actually attack you the moment you pulled Excalibur. That is why it's suddenly attacking you, and as you can see, the thing's a tank, but it can be defeated. But you also need to know, if you end up a certain distance away from it, it will just vanish on its own. Plus, it will vanish as soon as day breaks. Pretty sure I have one of these. This one. Nasty. Is that a... It is a wand. A lot of war clubs. I've still got plenty of space, thank goodness. The exploding Morgenstern. It's just boom. That would make for a crazy melee build. This is something that I should plug into my armor. And I'm already over my 2-hour limit, but I'm gonna get one more thing in before ending this stream. And if any of you saw the spell that I cast, a certain fireball spell, yeah, I was using that one for quite a while. It has its drawbacks because it consumes a ton of mana and it sends your target flying. So it may be difficult to find them after you're finally done fighting. Okay, so that shard is what I got from the Weaver. Zip zap paddywhack, give a dog a bone. So Arthur Pendragon's father's name was Uther. What? So people came. Does that mean I'm robbing his tomb? I'm wondering if these were the ones in the adjoining chamber. And that must be Sewell Firstfoot.
I know this place. I remember it, although my memory is still clouded. I was here with Merlin. We had a disagreement about something important. It was here that the idea of how to end the war with the Four-Dwellers first took shape. But what happened next is still unclear. I don't remember. And yet, I know it had something to do with Seawall, a place of his eternal rest. But something is wrong. It doesn't feel like a tomb. Be cautious.
You are not him. You are different. I am Sewell Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before the traitor Arthur set foot on it. Yes, it is my legacy. The jewel of the South, the safe haven of honorable men. I've been here for so long, it doesn't matter anymore. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask. I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar land. Then came the war. I fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him. But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then could he achieve greatness. But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective. So we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality. They thought I had died, so they buried me. Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead, but I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for the greater good. Their lives, our lives, meant nothing to him. Arthur doomed his people to eternal suffering. Their names forgotten. Their loyalty abused. He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of men. And this is the greatest possible betrayal. We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed. The Dalriata promised to burn down Camelot, avenge the memory of all my brothers. Camelot was built on betrayal. People have the right to live in truth. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Build a new world. Let the dead leave this one.
How's that for messed up?
And? What do you think? Oh, they're just fools. Somebody made a stupid mistake in the past. Somebody else decided to cover it up. Somebody came up with traditions and stories to mask what was done. And for hundreds of years, fools were eating it up because the lies were easier to believe. Really? Unfortunately, there's no point in invoking tradition any longer, because it's worth shit. The only thing that matters is safety and loyalty towards the one who can provide it. And honestly, I don't believe the ones running this entire circus will protect anyone but themselves. Well, now we've found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck, and somehow you unwittingly became the most important
A word I've
person
used
in
on a
the
number of
region, because
occasions.
Your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds. You see, my boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't understand what I'm trying to do. The latter, like Feargas, are the traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well. If I come to them with this revelation, they think it were a conspiracy. But if somebody from the outside, somebody Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this? Ha! That's what I wanted to hear. I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas, get him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me in the shrine. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let his pride take over.
And that, folks, is going to be it for now. You know the drill. I upload my videos to my YouTube channel, same as my gamer tag. Feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. If you wish to stay up to date on future releases, please hit that subscribe button. I'm Jade Psycho Mamba. See y'all next time.